Yo, what is going on, people? It's been a while since I've uploaded. I don't know why I'm getting all hyped then. I hate it when people start videos like, what's going on? It's your boy. Anyway, let me tell you, I'm just pondering about something. I thought, I'm just going to have a little rant and talk about it. If you want to listen, cool. Right, so you may recall in one of my previous videos when I'm talking about getting arrested, I talk about how you should always hire a solicitor. That's something I've learned later in my criminal life, though my criminal time has now come to an end. But I wanted to tell you about a couple of instances when I chose not to use a solicitor. So, as I said in one of the previous videos, I never wanted to hire a solicitor because I always felt like if I had a solicitor, that admitted my guilt. But one of the other reasons why I didn't want a solicitor is because, when the juries or the magistrates there listening to what's being said, if you're standing behind your solicitor, trying to look smart like this, and the solicitor's just doing all the talking. They judge you based on your appearance only. So the solicitor's saying the same thing that they say for every single person. Alex is very sorry for what he did. He won't do it again. He's since realised that this, that, and the other. And it's like, to me, that's a load of rubbish, yeah? Because they just look at the person standing behind the solicitors and they make their own judgment sub. Of course, the solicitor is going to say Alex is sorry. Of course, he's going to say he's learned from mistakes. Of course, he's going to say he's deeply been affected. It's a load of rubbish. But I felt when the jury or the magistrates hear it from your voice, it goes better. Especially if you can speak well. So a couple of instances where I've represented myself, I'm going to tell you about, right? Okay. I was really proud of both of them, actually. Okay, so I'll talk about drink driving first. I got it done a few years ago for drink driving. I'm waiting outside the courtroom to go in. I'm nervous because I was like over 3 times over the limit. I knew there was a chance of a custodial sentence. An usher came up to me and said to me, he said, we're going to get you a solicitor. And I said to her, no, I don't want a solicitor. And they kept trying to convince me to have one. And then they went away. I was waiting to go in. And then usher came back over and said, look, we really recommend you had a solicitor because it's a possibility of a custodial sentence. If you don't go in with a solicitor, you could regret it. And I said, no, I'm all right. Because I wanted to let them hear me talk in my posh voice and try and put on a very good show. Because I knew that would be much better than standing behind a solicitor saying the same thing, Mr. Alex is sorry, blah, blah, blah. So I finally get to go into court. I'm in my shirt and tie. I've got the most innocent look on my face. And it comes to my turn to speak. And this is what I said, which I was so proud of. I said, okay, first of all, your magistrate, I do apologise if I make a mistake. I'm not a qualified solicitor, but I have chosen to represent myself. Now, when I sat outside, I was approached on 2 occasions by the usher, and it was recommended to me that I have a solicitor. Now, as far as I'm concerned, when you get to hear the defence, it's important that you hear the truth, and no one can deliver the truth as much as myself because I was the only one who's there. So I'm going to do my best to tell you exactly what happened in my own words so you can make a judgment instead of hearing it from someone who wasn't there. I was very, very proud of that. And I went on to tell the whole story that I'd created, but it was so much more real because it came from me instead of a solicitor. And in the end, they ended up giving me the minimum sentence they could give me. And they said to me, I can remember saying as well, consider yourself very lucky. This is the minimum sentence we can give you for this, and it's because of X, Y, and Z. I felt I did a really good job representing myself, and I just felt it was so much better coming from me and my mouth instead of them just looking at me and judging me. Because they've probably seen, getting black, brown, so they've probably seen the worst criminals they've probably seen bad people go into court, and to some of these older white people I might look very similar to another guy who's come in who's done a bad thing. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? They might put me in a category, but I think if they could hear me talk, it'd help me. So that was one instant. Another instant is assault. I got arrested for assault. And I had to give my defence, and I chose not to have a solicitor. I started off with very similar lines. Look, this is the reason I haven't had a solicitor. I feel it's important that you hear the truth, and I will give you the truth better myself. And then I delivered the story in a really good way. And once again, I got the minimum sentence. And when I got home a few days later, I got a message on Facebook, and it was a girl, and she says, "Hi, just let you know I work for the blah blah a newspaper of where I live." And I said, "I was in a courtroom when you represented yourself, and I think you should train to be a solicitor because you did an amazing job." I was like, boom, yo, I was so proud of myself. Everything I said was so much just a load of rubbish, just a created story, but I tried to cover everything, and I knew that hearing it from me instead of solicitor is just did just make it so much better. I'm very ashamed of my actions now. I shouldn't have lied. But I feel that if you're going to court and you feel that you've got a good case, don't be ashamed to say it yourself. I don't think it really matters how you speak or if you speak well or if you don't speak well, but if they can see you as a person, that helps. Because when you're standing up behind that solicitor and the solicitor talking for you, they just see you as another criminal. But when you start speaking, it doesn't matter how you speak. You could have a stutter, you could talk with a lot of slang, but if they can see the person and see you're genuine and hear it from you, I feel it makes a difference. But I'm contradicting myself because in my last video I said always have a solicitor. So it depends really. What I'm going to say is, if it's a small case, I don't think there's much wrong with doing it yourself. If it's a serious case, then maybe hire a solicitor if you can't see any way out of it yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Peace.